Your next vehicle from Community Motors of Mason City.
Great service from 3 locations. Community on Monroe, Community Motors Westside, and Mason City Ford. 10 new franchises and hundreds of vehicles to give you more choices. Plus, Community offers an exclusive 3-3 warranty on pre-owned vehicles and 10-year, 250,000-mile warranty on new. Need more reasons why? Stop or visit CommunityAutoGroup.com.
Because nobody beats a community deal.
Okay, 9:45, it's Monday, December 10th. At this time, I'll open up the Cerro Gordo County Board of Supervisors regular session. Item 1 and item 2 on the agenda is the agenda for this morning and the minutes from December 4th.
Mr. Chairman, at this time, I make a motion to approve today's agenda and the minutes of the floor.
Okay, and I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion second to approve today's agenda and the minutes from December 4th. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to new business, county engineer.
Good morning. We did not go out this weekend. They went out this morning and checked for some slick bridges and slick spots a little bit. And there were some slick bridges that they salted the fence about it, so we got pretty lucky it missed us. I've been informed that Rockville has received funding to replace that bridge.
Oh, good.
So they received a letter and they need to reply to it as to whether they're gonna accept the funding or not. And
Now,
they
that's the one by the golf course?
Yes, so
How much are they getting?
it doesn't really tell me. I was just carbon copied on the letter from the DOT to Rockwell. But they can receive up to 80%.
Oh, good.
Is that fall under the BROS?
There's
The
two.
city version of it?
Yes, and there's a city BROS, and then there is some state funding for some stuff like that too. So, and as I read this letter, it says that their bridge ranked high enough on the city bridge candidate list to receive funding. So I'm assuming they have to, well, and then it continues to say if the city decides to accept funding for this project, they need to send a letter committing to that acceptance. So I'm assuming they're probably gonna accept it unless there's some way they can't make the 20% local match. So the mayor had called me this morning to get a copy of this, so he hadn't quite seen all the details of it yet. So he should have it now, and I'm assuming they'll take some sort of action on it when their city council meetings.
Good. Now, is that up to 80% or they will get 80%?
They can receive 80%. They will get 80%. Yeah.
Good.
And then the North Iowa Co-op and Dean Snyder Construction over in Portland, they have been building some bins. There is a culvert that goes under the road, and it doesn't really drain until it gets to a certain elevation, until it can go out over the back slope and into a field. There's never been a drainage issue here. The gentleman who's doing the grading work contacted our office about seeing if there was even a pipe that existed under the road. And so we went out and did some investigating and found that there was a pipe that had been plugged for several years, and there had never been any drainage issues there. But we did expose the ends, and there is a possibility that he will want to run some tile in the east ditch and drain their parcel to the south. I did tell him to submit out fill out an application for a permit to work in the right of way to get all those details. So I believe he's working on that, but he hasn't confirmed it one way or another. So there may be something like that coming up, but I'll wait and see if I receive anything. And Carlisle called me last week to discuss the sale of that bridge, and he is having one of his assistants review the verbiage I sent him back in October, and I'm going to meet with him on Wednesday to make sure.
Where is the bridge?
It's in Rockwell still.
It's still in Rockville?
Yeah. So, and I've had probably about 4 parties interested in it. So
Okay.
I'm just kind of waiting on Carlisle and his office to review that to make sure my wording is sufficient.
And then we'll put it for bid then?
Yes,
Okay. Sounds good.
that's all I have.
Okay, anything else from Mary?
Other than, I go back and forth that port, I see there's some cones there, and I was wondering, even on the other side of the road where the construction, so they must have cited that height you discussed earlier.
Yeah, we had to expose the ends and cut the ends off and then extend it because the ends had gotten plugged over time. Soil's just kind of fallen, plugged the ends, so we extended it so it shouldn't happen again. And like I said, the back, it drains from the west to the east, and the back slope on the east side is a little bit higher than the flow line of the ditch, but there has never been any drainage problem to do any additional work, so.
Is Fair Meadows in the 5-year plan for resurfacing?
And not at this time. I can take a look at it when I do look at my program every year. I just started looking at the program for next year.
Sure.
Yeah, it is about budget time, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Anything else from Mary? Okay, moving on to county auditor's business, claims.
It's here for your consideration.
Mr. Chairman, if you see fit, I make a motion to authorize your signature on the claims and approve them.
Second?
Okay. We have a motion second to authorize the chair to sign the claims as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Payroll.
We have a payroll for the week ending 12/1/2012.
Here's the payroll warrant report. Make a motion to accept and authorize your signature on it as of the 1st of December.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second to authorize the chair to okay the payroll warrant report for December the 1st. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
I also have a couple payroll change requests for the sheriff's department, one being for Joanne Shannon and one for Nathan Bruce. They just completed the academy. And then there's 3 in total for each employee for the union step up that's allowed there.
Okay.
Are we in multiple resolutions there, or just?
They're existing employees, just a
Existing
motion.
employees, okay. Motion to approve the payroll changes as presented.
They don't have to be a resolution. Okay.
And I'll second it.
Okay, we got a motion second to accept the payroll changes for the 2 set people that Joanne Shannon and Nathan Bruce. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
That's all I have for payroll, and right before the meeting started, I was handed a drainage issue in District Number 31. It was requested by Bruce Reese, and it looks like a tile blowout.
That's down in Drainage District 31. Bruce Reese has contacted our office. He's doing some tiling, or has completed some tiling for the property owner. Next to that is actually in the road right away. It's a 40-inch tile that's probably about 12 foot deep. 40-inch tile that's about 12 foot deep, and just due to safety, I don't know if our guys, we don't have the proper equipment probably to handle something that deep safely, like a trench box or anything like that. So I did contact Larry, and he called me back, and I've called him back. I haven't touched base with him, but I was in the
Okay.
process of trying to touch base with him.
Okay.
Sounds like we're all over that one.
Yep.
So what's the formality here?
Well, I'll make a motion that we, between Mary and Larry, they get it checked out as quick as possible.
Okay.
And let him fix it if you see fit.
So second that.
Okay. Got a motion and second to contract Larry Fearman and have him check on a blowout in Drainage District 31, and it's down on 150th Street. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Anything else?
I have the monthly sheriff and circuit court reports for your consideration.
So move to authorize the chair's signature on the clerk's monthly report of fees and the sheriff's monthly report of fees.
I'll second.
Okay, we got motion and second to accept the sheriff's monthly report of fees and the clerk's monthly report of fees. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
That's all I have today, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Becky.
thank you, Becky. Moving on to item C, manure management reports. We have two of them this morning. One's for Dave Bamrick, and the other one's for Dwayne Christensen. They are renewals, and
They're your special.
they're my specialty. I get all the manure. At this time, I make a motion that we accept the reports and send it back to the DNR.
Second.
We got a motion second to accept the reports from Bamrick and Christensen and send copies to the DNR. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Moving on, we're going to skip item D for about 15 minutes. Moving on to item E, agreements and contracts.
None here.
I have none. Appointments? I have none. Okay, correspondence, communication. Do we have anybody that has anything this morning you want to talk about outside of the outside funding request? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn for roughly 10 to 15 minutes before we do the outside funding
I
request.
make a motion to recess for
Recess, okay?
Okay.
15 minutes.
And I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion second to recess till 10:15. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carried.
Go ahead.
We do this in a proper setting, so it'll be 50, we advertised it for 10:15, so we will do it tonight. Gene, Jimmy opened it for me.
Right.
And he'd like to be back on that. And he needs some- Yeah, he will.
Oh, okay.
He's-
That's
he's-
almost
like
an insurance
application.
That's perfect.